by Pistone at PistoneMRN.com on October 29, 2017, 8:39 p.m. Est. Sunday's first Beta 500 at Martinsville Speedway was classic NASCAR and a much-needed water cooler race that will surely keep fans talking all week. Photo Getty Images. It took 33 races, but we finally have the best one of the year. Sunday's first Beta 500 at Martinsville Speedway was classic NASCAR and a much-needed water cooler race that will surely keep fans talking all week. The slam-bang finish that included the controversial incident between Denny Hamlin and Chase Elliott was just the icing on the cake that up until then had provided lap after lap of entertainment and drama. If there's any doubt which how can there be, NASCAR needs more short-track racing. Martinsville was Exhibit A, B, C, D and the rest of the alphabet. Layering in the start of the third round of the playoffs just added to the drama of the day. And of course when emotions flare as they did after the race between not just Elliott and Hamlin but other drivers as well, that's never a bad thing. Martinsville has been a part of the NASCAR landscape since the very beginning and even after 70 years shows no signs of old age. On the contrary, the modernization of the facility, including the debut of the track's state-of-the-art LED lighting system Sunday that brought in historic nature to the proceedings with the first ever Cup race to finish under the lights, ensures Martinsville will be around for decades to come. If any race in the final three to end this 2017 Cup season comes close to generating what Martinsville did Sunday, it's going to be a hell of a ride to the year's final checkered flag. One of the oldest cliches in racing is when drivers say they'd wreck their grandmother to win. Denny Hamlin didn't take out Granny, but after his move on Chase Elliott he won't be winning any popularity contests anytime soon. Hamlin drilled Elliott's rear bumper with only 2 laps to go and knocked him out of the lead in spinning. While the playoff mentality is pretty close to anything goes when the checkered flag is near, Hamlin's decision was definitely way over the line. The two had a heated conversation afterward and Elliott demonstrated his incredible maturity by voicing his displeasure but overall taking the high road. Meanwhile, Hamlin was booed by his home state Virginia fans and issues an apology of sorts on social media after the race. But while Hamlin's move may have been out of bounds, it begs the question of whether or not it's exactly what fans long for. And if it weren't Elliott involved with his immense popularity and continued quest for Cup career win #1, would the response have been as harsh if, say, it were Kyle Busch or Brad Keselowski on the receiving end? It will be an interesting week ahead in NASCAR Nation. Martinsville was the final track to employ the enhanced weekend schedule. While the Truck Series held 2 practice sessions on Friday, there were no Cup activities. Saturday's schedule included Truck Series qualifying and then Texas Roadhouse 200 plus a pair of Cup practices. Saturday night featured a huge fan fest with many Cup drivers taking part. And then Sunday wrapped up with qualifying and the first Beta 500 on the same day. Tracks providing fans with enough activities to keep them engaged coupled with teams having an extra day off the road are 2 major proponents of the idea. It will be interesting to see how many tracks use the compressed weekend plan in 2018. One change I'd like to see made next year to the enhanced weekend plan is to not use the previous week's qualifying results as a means for pit selection. Especially in the playoffs, what happened last weekend should have no bearing on the subsequent event. Martin Truex Jr. had a huge benefit by picking the first pit stall by virtue of his pole-winning effort last week at Kansas. While there's a short turnaround between qualifying and racing on the same day, finding time for pit selection should become a priority. Saturday's Camping World Truck Series race provided yet another entertaining afternoon at Martinsville for NASCAR's No. 3 Series. A thrilling move on a late restart by 19-year-old Noah Gragson around Matt Crafton proved to be the winning maneuver, and the Las Vegas native became the 10th different driver to score his first win at Martinsville, the most of any track on the schedule. There was a time when the modified series was the Saturday companion to Cup racing at Martinsville. But since the trucks came into the picture nearly 2 decades ago, they have proven to be a worthy addition to the track's pair of main weekends. The opinions expressed here are those of the writer and do not necessarily reflect the positions of the Motor Racing Network.